Welcome back, everyone. This is day 5 of the Blue Team Toolkit series, and today we are covering a very powerful, very fast, and extremely useful tool called Masscan. So, if you are new to the series, make sure you also check out my other playlist like SOC Analyst L1 series, Bub Suite Full Course, Ethical Hacking series, Cybersecurity Roadmap, and more. All of these are available right here on the channel. Also, if you want to access to my premium content like deep dive labs, private streams, exclusive VAPT content, networking penetration testing videos, and member only workshops, so make sure you join the channel membership. It directly supports the channel and unlock content you won't see publicly. Okay, so let's begin today's session, and today we are talking about the mass scan. So let's start the session. Okay, so today we are going to talk about mass scan, a very powerful toolkit, and you are watching this video on the Blue Team Toolkit series on the YouTube Zero Day Vault YouTube channel. If you haven't subscribed it yet, make sure you subscribe and like the stream if you like or enjoying watching those videos, those tutorials. It will if it will help you in your journey. So this channel is particularly dedicated uh, content of cybersecurity. I'm your host Sumit, a security researcher and ethical hacker. This is a little bit about me, having 11 plus years of experience in ethical hacking, VAPT or red team operations, organizing workshops, trainings, internships for thousands of students, professionals across India. So today we are talking about mass scan. Like it is named as world fastest port scanner. The speed is 10 million packets per second. So what is actually mass scan? So mass scan like is known as the fastest port scanner in the world, and it can send 10 million packets per second, which means you can scan large networks almost instantly. Now think of mass scan as like Nmap speed but optimized coursing, designed for internet wide scanning, or like it is great for blue teaming exposure discovery, ideal for cloud environment with large IP ranges. So mass scan is a stateless, which makes it extremely fast. Unlike Nmap, it doesn't maintain the connection state, and mass scan is stateless, so it just fire packets at very high speed and record the responses. Okay, so there are some things you there are these things you need to know about. So how particularly mass scan is working? So mass scan is working TCP port scanner, which transmits the SYN packets asynchronously and produce results similar to Nmap. So it is kind working on the same pattern of Nmap, but the most port the Nmap is basically the most famous port scanner. So internally, the mass scan operates more like a Scranrand, Unicorn Scan, and ZMap. These are some other tools that known as fastest port scanner. Okay, so this is the GitHub repository in which you can download or install the mass scan in your system, and there are something about the mass scan. Now, why blue team should learn about the mass scan? Why the blue team need to learn about it? So there are few things that you need to know about, like rapid attack or surface discovery, large subnet scanning like the cloud or production networks, quick exposure identification. It is useful for threat hunting, or it also helps detect some misconfiguration faster than the Nmap. Okay, so that's why the blue teamers should read about it. So as all of you are available here, so let me welcome you all. Hello, Bhupesh. Hello, Monica. Hello, ServiceNow. So, good evening to you all. ServiceNow has a question. I have a doubt. SOC Analyst, what tools need to learn? Wireshark, SIM, Linux command, total virus scanning site. Yeah, everything is you need to learn the things you mentioned here in the comment, but also there are a few more things that you need to learn about, like the threat operating intelligence, threat intelligence, incident response planning, right? Some malware analysis tools. These are also compulsory, and some basic vulnerability scanner, port scanner. These are also then all these tools are enough for your SOC Analyst L1. If we talk about some of the key features of Masscan, then it provides you to lightning fast scanning, custom TCP synchronized packet scanning, supports all 65,000 ports, banner grabbing, and the output is compatible with Nmap. Like you can check the output with Nmap for more deep optimization, and low level packet control, source port, IP, rate limit. So these are some key features of Nmap. Now, if we compare side by side Masscan versus Nmap, so speed, Masscan is extremely fast, Nmap is having some moderate speed. The accuracy, so the accuracy, Nmap has higher, but Masscan accuracy is lower because no handshake will be performed. It asynchronously transmitting TCP SYN packets. If we talk about the scanning feature, then it will basically internet wide. You can scan the whole internet, and with Nmap, you can scan the host or network focus based tool. The scripts, like in Masscan, there are none, no scripts provided here, and in Nmap, we have NSE. If we talk about the use cases, then it is particularly used for discovery purpose, and Nmap is used for discovery and enumeration purpose. So there are some things that you need to know about before learning about Masscan. Okay. Now, if we talk about the installation, how you can install the Masscan into your system. So there are two methods. You can install the Masscan with the package manager. So the apt command is useful. You can use it. Apt install Masscan. Or if you want to install with the source, so you need to run these commands. So first you need to install the make build directory git, then git clone the entire repository of Masscan. After that, going to the directory of Masscan, making, and then making the build, and then installing that build. So these two methods are available to install the Masscan into your system. But in Kali Linux, the Masscan is already installed, right? So if you are using the Kali Linux for your scanning purpose, then Masscan is already installed, so you do not have to install it. So let me guide you to the screen of Kali Linux. So the next screen you are seeing is Kali Linux. Okay, so here is the Kali Linux, and if we open the terminal and check if Masscan is available here or not. So yes, Masscan is there, and when you hit enter, it basically displays you some basic commands like the use cases. So if you see the use cases, like the very first use case is Masscan space -p, then port numbers defined, the range of ports, and then the subnet, and then the rate, controlling the rate, like how many packets will be transmitted in seconds. So the 10,000 is limiting, we are limiting the rate. Then Masscan -nmap, so you can particularly check what options are compatible with Nmap, like what options we have in Nmap. There, those options you can directly use with the Masscan as well. So when you use the Masscan, like if you check the Masscan or help as well, like Masscan -h, So this particular thing is displayed. Now, if we talk about the very first command of nmap, sorry, mass scan, so what it will be. So let's see few commands first, and then we will talk about the other commands. So the basic scan example, suppose you have a target and want to scan on a single port. So you can use it like this, like sudo mass scan, then your target name, it can be your IP or the domain name, or then with the help of p port, you can define your port number. If you want to scan multiple ports, then you can use a port with a comma. You can separate the ports with the help of comma. If you want to scan the top ports, so we can provide the range from 1 to 1024. And then if you want to scan the all ports, then you can use or provide the all range. And if you want to provide a CIDR, like particularly if you have a list of subnets, then you can provide like this. Okay, so now let me show you how these basic scan can be done on a particular IP. So what I'm doing, I'm not using a public IP for the scan. I'm using a private IP of my network for the scan. So let me first check out my IP. So this will be my IP 192.168.159.212, and I'm scanning the another IP of my network. So I'm using mass scan then hyphen p. Suppose if I want to scan the port number 80 and then providing the target. So suppose this one. So see, we need to provide the sudo because it will be run as sudo or the root. So we can use it like this. Now it is scanning or transmitting the packets, and if we have anything, then particularly we got the result. So it initiating the SYN stealth scan. That means only transmitting the SYN packets, and the it is done, and we are not seeing any particular packet. Okay, so it basically transmits the, or it basically scan your target very fast. Now if you want to provide multiple ports, then the range of ports or the all ports, then you can just add the port number with your command and the particular target will be scanned. Got a comment that will be saying like Kali Linux or Parrot OS, which is better. See, the UI, Parrot has better UI, but Kali Linux has more tools available, more dependencies available. So the Kali Linux is better. Now, there are some more commands, like if you want to provide your targets, just like Nmap, if you want to provide a single target, the subnet, target subnet, range of IPs, different IPs, and if you want to use a list instead of a single target. So the command is exactly similar to the Nmap. We already discussed about like how you can use Nmap in your port mapping or network mapping. So the commands are exactly similar. You can use it, right? Now the rate control, and this is very important because like the default rate of scanning of mass scan is extremely high. So if we want to scan something that suppose if your target is in production and you want to control the speed, you want to control the rate, so you have to set the lower rates. That's why the flag hyphen hyphen rate will be used. So if you have a target or if you have a IP and you want to scan with a single port or multiple ports or the range of ports or like different ports, so you can use the option hyphen hyphen rate and then equals to, and then provide the rate. Okay, so what is rate means? Rate means the packet per second. So right now I'm providing 1 lakh packet per second. Okay, but the default rate is extremely high, so you can reduce it, like you can reduce it according to yourself. You can provide 1,000, 10,000, or maybe 100, right? So the rate control option is very important. So suppose if I use the option with my Linux, so let's see what type of output we will get. So we are using the same exact command, but with again with the option hyphen hyphen rate equals to, suppose now I'm providing 10,000. Okay, so the speed will be limited. Now it is performing the scan but with a lower speed. Okay, now if we talk about some more commands of the nmap, so what it will be: output option. If you want to save the result, then you can use the hyphen o, small o, but the output format can be text, JSON, or XML. So if you want to save the output in text format, you can use the option hyphen o, capital L. If you want to save the output in JSON format, then you can use small o, capital J. And if you want to store the output in XML format, then you can use hyphen o, capital X. Then you can also integrate the mass scan with the nmap. So it basically uses the nmap functionalities. So see this command. In this command, I'm storing the output in XML file, and in the XML file, so we use mass scan, then our target, then the port number, then the output option, and I want to store the target in XML, so using hyphen o, capital X, then saving the scan with a file name scan.xml. So when the file was created, you can import this file to the nmap for a deeper analysis. So you can use the option in nmap like nmap space hyphen il, because you are opting a list, then your list, and hyphen s, capital V, so service version. So that command is extremely useful. Like you can integrate the mass scan results with the nmap and you will get some better results. Now, if you want to use some custom source, like custom ports, like your scan will be performed with the this particular port or this particular IP, so you can use the option hyphen hyphen source hyphen port, then the port number. So now the scan will be performed with that particular given port, and that process is known as, or that technique is known as, port spoofing. So now your scan will be performed with the with this port, 53 number port. Okay, and if you want to scan the target with a spoofed IP, so you can use the option hyphen hyphen source hyphen IP and then provide the spoof IP address, and now your scan will be performed with that IP. So these two commands are also very helpful whenever you want to launch a scan. Now, some techniques to evasion or filtration bypasses. So the very first is randomize scan. Like if you use the option hyphen hyphen randomize hyphen hosts, so it will use some random hosts, right? It will use some random hosts, and your sometimes your uh, filters, your firewalls, your IDR or IPS may it like it will not particularly detect it, like the scan is happening and you will get your result. So hyphen hyphen randomize host is like the important technique to evasion or filter bypass. Then the rate limiting, we already discussed it, like avoid detection. So you can lower your rate, like very lower your speed, and it will be like nearly impossible to detect by the filtration or firewall or IDS or IPS. You can also use that another technique called fragment packets. And what is fragment packets? Like tiny packets. You are not sending a particular packet but sending tiny packets. So the option hyphen hyphen fragment is used. So these all are the commands for Masscan. It is like not used very widely in the field, but you should know about. If you have a larger target that has multiple, or you can say like thousands of IPs, and you want the result instantly or immediately, right? So it's better than Nmap. But Nmap is always better because it basically initiates the TCP handshake. So the result will be like, if we talk about the result, so accuracy will be higher in the Nmap. But with the mass scan, the accuracy will not that much high. Okay. So now if you want to exclude some target, so there is a one option available which is exclude file, and then you can provide the file of yours which contains all the target that you want to exclude from the scan. So whatever target it is, whatever target written in that file will be excluded from the scan. So if you want to avoid scanning for some production servers, some sensitive IPs, some partner networks, so you can use that flag. Otherwise this flag is not that much useful. Now if we talk about some real world blue team use cases, so why we use moss scan if we have nmap available? So see, scan external perimeter for exposed services, audit cloud assets, detect shadow IT, right? Unknown assets, check accidental port exposures, validate firewall rule changes, daily, weekly scheduled scans, and we can confirm if critical port accidentally opened. So that's the use case of mass scan. This is like the like not that uh, deep tool, so that's why the command is not that much, and that's why the use cases are not that much useful, right? But you should know about. So if you are a blue teamer, sometimes in the industry they can ask like, if you like nmap is not working or nmap is not giving you the result, or if you have any other option apart from nmap, so do you have any idea about it? Like if you have any other tool in your mind, so you can use that as well. So we should know about the options. If nmap is not working or nmap is not giving you the result, or there are some or more other glitches, then the mass scan will be a better option, so you can use it, right? There are some more network mapping tools available apart from nmap or the mass scan, like the zmap, right? Zmap is also very useful. It is also named as world fastest port scanner. So the next session will be on dependent on that particular tool. Okay, so I hope you got the idea about nmap. I'm not including that much or not going that much practical side of mass scan, because we already covered nmap on that level. So the commands are simple. If you want to use the port, let me show you one more time. So if you want to use the port, then you can provide the port number with the target. Simple option. Hyphen P is a universal. You can provide, or you can provide for port number. Then if you want to split your targets, like if you have multiple targets, range of targets, multiple or different targets, or list of targets, then you can use options like this. You can use those options with these options. So basically it will include everything. So suppose, see the second number command. If you have a subnet and wants to scan like thousands of ports, so you can include with the P. So you can increase the port numbers like from 80 to 10,000 or from 80 to 20,000, right? And if you want to add some more targets, then you can use. So these are all are the target cases, and these all are the port cases. So you can include like you can make the combination of both of them, and then can continue your scan according to your need. The rate control is very important. As I talk, we discussed about it few minutes ago, like why the rate control is important, because the mass scan is performing at very high speed, so we have to lower it down. So the option hyphen hyphen rate is used to lower down the speed. And what is rate means? So rate means the packets per second. So the default rate is very high, but I'm using 1 lakh packets for the scan, so you can use it accordingly. If you really want to bypass some filters evasion techniques, then use like 1000 or 2000 or 500 rate limit. Then the output options, if you want to store the output in some file in JSON format, in XML format, in text format, then you can use the option -O with the output format. So L is basically stands for text file, J is stands for JSON file, and X is stands for XML file. Then you can use the nmap, mass scan with the nmap. So this is the integration part. So if you have a file of mass scan and wants to analyze deeper with the help of nmap, so you can create the output from mass scan and then provide the file in the nmap with the option -il, that means include list, and the list of yours. If you want to use a spoof port number or a spoof IP, so you can add the option hyphen hyphen source port for the port number and then provide the port number. So a spoofed port will be used for the scan. And if you want to use the same technique for the IP, then you can use the option hyphen hyphen source hyphen IP and then the IP address. So now your scan will be performed with that spoof IP. There are some evasion techniques. So randomize host, very important, because the scan will be performed with some random hosts for rate limiting. And then fragmented packets, that means tiny packets, so you can use the option hyphen hyphen fragment. And if you want to exclude some targets, so this is the commands for. And you need to note down, like there are some few common mistakes we normally do when we are using mass scan. So you can avoid these things, like scanning too fast in internal networks, because if you are going that fast, that may create some chaos in the internal networks. So lower down your speed. Scanning without permission, that can be noisy. Running all port scan during working hours, so not reading firewall logs after scan, like what the logs are generated, and forgetting to exclude critical ranges, and you include the production servers, uh, client IPs, partner IPs in your scan. So you can avoid all these things in your scan when you are doing the mass scan. Okay, so the next toolkit we will read about in this series will be ZMap. This is also similar to mass scan, but more higher speed. Okay, so the resources i the resources I like provide here will be available in the drive, so you can check that out drive. The drive link is available in the video description, so you can see all the tool commands, all the nodes, everything. Okay, make sure to like the video if you are watching this stream, or liking the stream, or improving your knowledge, your hands-on scenarios. And check out the other series as well, like the SOC, like the Bob suit or others. And you can join out the channels for some premium content like VAPT, network testing, API testing, mobile testing, or other things as well. Okay, now let's see some comments. So now you can ask me anything if you want to. So we got some super chat as well, so thank you Bhupesh, thank you Ankit. And let's check the comment. So the very first comment is, if I can bring Red Team Toolkit series, yes, it is in the pipeline and it will be available from the next week. I'm just designing the content for the Red Team Toolkit and it will be available from the next week. So yes, it is coming. Thank you, Monica, for your kind words. Faizan Mohammed, as students, how can I make use of these skills and get job while all other are different ones? Anyone? So see, like if you want to use those skills, then do practice. Explore as much as you can. Explore your local network. Explore some permission-based programs. Like you can pick programs for HackerOne, Bugcrowd, or all other platforms, and then perform your thing, perform your tools knowledge, perform your skills on them. So when you use that, your knowledge will improve and you will get some hands-on things, right? So then you can get the job. And like see, cybersecurity is like a vast field, so you will read too much. You have to stay updated. You have to use a lots of techniques, tricks, or tools, commands, right? So read as much as you can or practice. And for practice purpose, create some lab environment, use scenarios, solve or buy solve capture the flag CTF competitions, buy some lab subscriptions like from the Hack the Box or Try Hack Me, right? Or pick the target from the bug bounty applications and then can perform your testing. Can we use JS Linux? This is similar to Kali Linux. You can, but like in Kali Linux, there are like around 700 plus tools that are available. So the Linux distro, you can use it, you can use anything. You can use Ubuntu, you can use any other thing, right? So that not much create something, but why we use Kali Linux? Because we are we want to explore more tools. That's why we use Kali Linux. So you can use any other distro you want, but the Kali Linux has more tools available or pre-installed. The dependency is already installed. That's why we will use it. Faizan Mohammed is saying, I was actually worried to get into cybersecurity because I do coding, but it's very crowded and time has been passing by. So yes, but like getting into cybersecurity is very easy, but the maintaining the thing is very hard. So you need to practice daily, you need to read more, you need to stay updated. Like the technology is changing, more tools are coming, more platform are there, AI is also there. So the practice, the reading, and stay updated, these three things you can follow, so you can make a career very fast, or you can secure a job in cybersecurity. Krishna, hello Krishna. So we can basically scan the larger target with the help of mass scan, definitely, and the output can be put in nmap for more precise results. Yes, of course, right? Like if you differentiate side by side of nmap and mass scan, so suppose if you have 10 IPs, you have 10 target, so you can use nmap, no doubt, without anything you can use nmap. But if you have 10,000 IPs, then first we will use mass scan and then put the output in the nmap for deeper analysis, because mass scan will give you some faster results. But if you have a time, if you want to explore, like if you want to go slow, then nmap is always better. Mass scan can only be used in certain conditions when you have much target and you want the result instantly. Then only we will use the mass scan. Otherwise, there is no need to use it. Nmap is sufficient because it will gives you more options, more techniques, and more like NSE is there, host discovery technique is there, or you can discover operating systems, versions, launch aggressive scans. Like so, Nmap has more capability than any other tool if we talk about particularly network mapping tools. So any other questions if you have? So once again, thank you to those who are supporting the channel and making the super chat. So thank you Bhupesh, thank you Ankit, and the rest of you. Very welcome to join the stream and maintaining, like you are joining every day. So it means a lot. Hopefully these streams will helping you. Hopefully these streams will uh, get your interest, right? So if you want me to make some more videos on another topics, so you can drop in the comments and tell me like what should be our next tool, because in the next session I'm using zmap, and then you can tell me in the comments like what next tool should I pick. So once again, thank you everyone. So if you have any further things, you can ask me. Otherwise, I'm closing the stream, right? Try hack me, hack the box. These sites contain Kali Linux tools? No. These are having some labs based on Kali Linux tools, but the knowledge, no. There are no such labs available. Faizan Mohammed, you covered application security also? Yes, but for the premium members. Dropped, I think, 6 videos for web application testing. Network testing videos are already available for members. So, yeah, these sites alternative to Kali Linux tool? No, 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 no. Try Hack Me and Hack the Box is the platform where you can where you can practice. So they have some scenarios based questions and labs available. So you can improve your knowledge over there by solving those challenges. And in Kali Linux, sorry, in Hack the Box, they integrated Kali Linux platform. So suppose if you are using Hack the Box platform, so you do not need to use your Kali Linux. The internal Kali Linux is already there, but still you have to use Kali Linux tools, but a light version of Kali Linux, you can say. Okay, so I'm not seeing any new comment here. So with all that, thank you everyone for joining this day 5 of Mass Scan in the Blue Team Toolkit series on the Zero Day YouTube Vault YouTube channel. So stay updated, stay secure, learn today, lead tomorrow. Take care. Bye bye.